Hey there, Sagittarius. Welcome to November 2019. I hope you guys are doing well. Yeah, let's go ahead and get into your reading. Show me energy present for the sign of Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Energy present for the sign of Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, please. Energy for the sign of Sag. Okay. So you have the Four of Cups here, Sagittarius. And you have the Ten of Swords. With Judgment at the bottom of the deck. So the way I do these readings, it's not necessarily a spread. I guess it's kind of a spread. I don't know. Past, present, future. But however it resonates for you, feel free to apply. The Four of Cups and the Ten of Swords, this is basically not choosing to remain in a situation or give it any more of your energy because you are exhausted by it. You may have been dealing with somebody who is very manipulative, very kind of treacherous in their ways, and it's just something that you want to step away from. Judgment is that, using that judgment to figure out which direction you'd rather go in. You know, what do you want here? Give me 1 sec, I just dropped a bunch of cards. Okay, show me more for Sagittarius. Okay, so you have the King of Cups flying out in reverse. We're just going to go ahead and pull your cards here, Sag, and then we'll get into it. Could be dealing with the Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. Page of Swords in reverse. Okay, just so you guys know, everything in this deck is upright. I let them come out in reverse if they want that. Show me more for Sag. The Star. Show me more for Sagittarius, please, for the beginning of November 2019. Seven of Cups coming out sideways. I'm going to put it upright, but we'll get into the sideways aspect in a second. Well, let's get into it now. Seven of Cups is an energy where we have decisions, we have options and potentials. It could be somebody seeing you and viewing you as an option or a potential, you viewing somebody else as that way, or it just could be literally the things that the potentials in your life that you can have versus this situation. And in a sideways view, it's oftentimes like where we are uncertain, you know, and the thing about this card, it's a card of uncertainty. It's a card of emotional confusion in regard to what you're looking for. It's like now on its side, it's almost indicative of you're almost ready to make a decision. I'm going to put it upright, but it's kind of that almost ready. Show me more for Sagittarius, please. You have the Five of Pentacles in reverse. And at the bottom of the deck, you have the Two of Wands. Okay. So I use the bottom of the deck as kind of the overall energy of the reading. I'm going to open up this window so we can have more sunshine just because, well, it's nicer than fake light. Let's turn this off. I don't like this one. So, yeah, the Two of Wands being at the bottom of the deck, this is basically where we are at a decisionary point in our life. We're deciding what we want from our situation, what makes sense for us, what we want to go into. The Two of Wands is which direction do I go in? What makes sense for me? What am I going to be happiest with? Here in the card, she's like looking at this spider in the background. It's almost as if the things that are in the past, you know, still haunt, but don't necessarily need to be part of your future. That seems to be a very recurring theme within so many of these readings. I do want to talk about our current state. We are in a retrograde season right now. I believe it just started last night. on Halloween. I'm doing a reading today on November 1st, just because this is the time I have to do it. So, yeah, we're in a retrograde season. This is going to be bringing up feelings and emotions for a lot of people. It's going to be bringing people back from the past, unaddressed situations, stuff that we need to pay attention to and kind of maneuver through. And that's hard for a lot of folks just because we decide one way or the other that this is how it is and this is how it should have been and whatever it is. But it's a chance, an opportunity to change that narrative, change the communication and the ideas that we're having and feeling, and open up potential for new things. So new directions. The Four of Cups and the Ten of Swords, like I said, dealing with somebody who may have treated you very poorly, disregarded you, a lot of deception. But the thing is about the Ten of Swords, it's about lessons. So when we have these problems in our lives, where do they mirror back from where we've experienced things that are similar before? Like, where do they mirror back, these reoccurring cyclical things, whether they be relationships, whether they be pinpointing stuff that's like our emotional makeup, like how we were raised. Not everybody gets raised with healthy parents. Not everybody has like a good understanding and sense of self or a good sense of emotion. A lot of people put themselves down. A lot of people like are raised to think that they're not worth anything. It's time to change that, but aside from that, dealing with a situation that you no longer want to be part of. The King of Cups in reverse is not a healthy fellow. Oftentimes emotionally manipulative. They do not share their emotions. They sometimes have agendas. It's somebody who blows smoke up your ass. They are not a healthy partner to be around. It can be somebody who drinks a lot, who does too many drugs, who finds escapism in a lot of aspects of their life, which makes it difficult to connect to them. It can also be somebody who, through that, if they are somebody who drinks and drugs and whatever, is using, altering their state of mind and being, that can also cause a lot of problems because people in those places, people who are operating when they're, under the influence, can be very problematic, very demeaning, very, they disregard the people that are in their lives. Put my hair back. Give me just 1 second. I have a lot of hair and it's already starting to dread. I get dreadlocks so easily. Ugh. All right. Page of Swords in reverse with the King of Cups in reverse. Page of Cups in reverse indicates an energy of somebody who is viewing us, watching us. We're spying, they're spying. It's somebody who's keeping tabs. It's somebody who's kind of deceptive and not really up to par with you. They're not open about things. Keeping information tight-lipped. It could be somebody that you were with in the past. Because of that Mercury retrograde, we have a lot of this past energy coming back, people coming back. Poor Aries and Leo, they had like kind of narcissistic traits with the people that they were dealing with. And I hope that's not the situation here. But what it feels like is, Sagittarius, you may be dealing with somebody who is not well in their mind or their emotions, and somebody who might be, seeking outward situations like coping mechanisms like alcoholism and drug addiction and smoking too much pot and too much, pornography or gambling or whatever it is, that's affecting them, but it's also affected you, but you're at the point where it's like, I don't want to deal with that anymore. It could also be just somebody that is entirely disingenuous in their feelings towards you or what they share with you, That seems to be a reoccurring theme in a lot of the readings this time around too. And I'm kind of wondering why that's so prevalent this November, just because it's been in so many readings. It's super confusing. Yeah, so maybe somebody watching you, you watching them, somebody keeping tabs on someone, and the star as well is basically where it's a necessity to heal. If you, this can also, the Page of Swords doesn't just have to be somebody who's a spy. It can be somebody who they don't have information. They have all of the wrong information essentially. So, whether that be personal programming from childhood, this is also a very emotionally immature card. It's immature in the way that we think. This could be somebody who just doesn't have their shit together and we're tired of dealing with them. You know, they don't have to be a narcissist. They could just be somebody who does not have their shit together and you're tired of it. The star talks about healing. It talks about change. It talks about trusting the direction and course that we're on. It communicates a sense of recognition, sometimes being seen. You know, sometimes this type of energy needs to be seen by somebody so they can help them heal themselves. This situation, though, with the Seven of Cups and the Five of Pentacles leading on into future, it's almost as if, like, you know, we have this decision, Two of Wands, decision to make in regard to our emotional connection with this person. Is this something that you can maintain, or are you tired? The thing about the Ten of Swords is that it's an energy where we are done with being treated poorly. We're done with being, you know, being stabbed in the back. Like, it's done with dishonesty. I'm holding myself back. I don't want to look at this anymore. I give up, you know, that type of energy. Oh my God. It seems, Sagittarius, and I'm like, I'm so tired right now, and I'm not tired, like sleepy. Like, these readings are kind of draining just because it's like we're dealing with people who have like these Jekyll and Hyde aspects about themselves, and everybody does. But like, this is amped up to like some sort of interesting degree, you know, where you may be able to see something plain as day with somebody, the person that you're dealing with, but they're having a hard time seeing it. They're having a hard time seeing their worth. They're having a hard time communicating. I feel here that there's a necessity for compassion in two ways for you. It's like you have to have compassion in regard to yourself dealing with this type of situation, but there's also some sort of compassion for this person, because it's like you do want them to get better. You do want them to heal. It might not be the right situation for you now. It might not be the right situation to remain in this forever with this person, but it doesn't mean that you don't care about them. It just, what I'm feeling is like they need help and you're fucking hoping that they help themselves, you know. But in that other sense of compassion, you also have to show compassion to yourself in regard to a situation. You can't stay on course with somebody if they are just like three sheets to the wind. They don't know what they're doing. They're just kind of like cycling and circling and going crazy, you know. All right, Seven of Cups, that emotional connection, or I'm sorry, not emotional connection. It's being aware of the options and potentials in regard to the directions you want to go in, this new direction. And I think you're going to pick something that is going to be emotionally supportive for you. I feel here also, Sagittarius, that you may have been very supportive of this person for a while. I don't know. I know not all of you are dealing with people who are like emotionally disrupted or alcoholics or, you know, smoking too much weed or whatever the issue is. But it feels like you've been caring about this person and their well-being for a fair amount of time. And I feel that that's also burdensome for you, because it's like you can see the potential, you can see how they can get help, but this person is like, no, I don't, you know, it's not registering. And, you know, even if you may have like looked into situations for them, they're not taking that information. They're not being, you know, they're not utilizing it. With the Five of Pentacles in reverse, let me see if I can find the Five of Pentacles really quickly in the regular tarot, just so you can have an image, because I want you to see what I'm talking about. Oftentimes with the Five of Pentacles, it's two people standing in the snow, walking in front of a church, you know, and it's the male who is very badly bruised. His body's all messed up. He doesn't have, you know, what he needs to have. He's just basically operating in a very poor way. And the female is somebody who, she's healthy-bodied, she's healthy-minded, but in a way she's still connected to this male. So it's like she continues to walk with him. But how long do you walk with somebody? Here we are. Thank you. How long do you hold that up? Like here, it's like, you know, a lot of people don't see it like this, but it's kind of like that till death do us part, but also through toxic things and this and that. But this person is so badly in shape that they need help. They're in front of a church. In the representation of a card, the church represents help. It represents abundance, food, care, you know, And here they are in the freezing snow with no shoes on. He's all busted up and she's in tatters, but they're walking away from that. They're walking away from the potential of what they could utilize, help for the poor. And I'm not saying you're poor, but help for people who are in need, and they're walking away from it. She's fine. She's not busted up. She's cold as fuck. She's in rags, but she's still walking with him. She's still by his side. Here in this Five of Pentacles, we're in reverse, okay? And we have to look in, look at all these eyeballs everywhere. We have to look in on the situation. What works for us? Are we going to maintain being tethered to somebody who isn't able to reciprocate in the ways that we need them to show up as a partner? This person needs some sort of help, counseling, drug addiction, whatever it is, they need help. But you need to figure out which direction you want to go in. And I think you're realizing that this is more of a burden than anything. And I think you're kind of done carrying it. Compassion or not, have compassion for yourself. You can't change somebody, and they will choose the course and direction that they are supposed to be on. And that's the thing too. This is dual edge here, this Two of Wands. It's for you to choose a direction, but it's also for this person to choose a direction and start to take accountability for their actions and their experience. Because I think you, as being part of this, Sag, it hasn't been easy, and you've kind of given to where you can give no more. That's what I'm picking up. Show me the Four of Cups for Sagittarius, please. Show me the Four of Cups for Sagittarius. Show me the Four of Cups for Sagittarius. Show me the Four of Cups for Sag. So you have the King of Cups in reverse. He's here in reverse. King of Cups, reverse. Okay, so yeah, we're shutting this person out. And I know that sounds really harsh. We're shutting them out. But if you're dealing with somebody of that nature, addictions or not, it's somebody who is not emotionally ready to show up. They don't show up emotionally. They're closed off. They don't show their emotions. They don't share their feelings. They, have secret fantasies, everybody has secret fantasies, but secret addictions, things that they keep hidden, things that they don't share with you. It's not healthy. And you're closing yourself off to that energy because it feels like you're tired of it. You deal with it enough that you don't want to deal with it anymore. Show me the Ten of Swords here for Sagittarius, please. Show me the Ten of... Okay. Yeah, you have the Ten of Pentacles coming out in reverse as well with the Devil at the bottom of the deck. If you've been in a relationship with this person for a long time, this is a dissolve of that. It's a dissolve of stability within a relationship. You have the Devil at the bottom of the deck. Now, with this Ten of Pentacles, this could be somebody in reverse. This could be somebody with the King of Cups twice in reverse. Somebody who gambles, they could have gambled your finances away, and this is just the last straw. That's possible. They could have taken money from you. They could have drank the money throughout the years. Whatever it is, it's a dissolve of connection and foundation. It's letting go of what once was possibly a fairly long relationship. But again, I keep getting this sense, Sagittarius, that whomever this reading is for is dealt with this far too long. With the Devil, you are up against somebody who is very stuck within their ways. They're stuck within addiction. They're stuck within codependent and toxic patterns within their lives. And they are the only ones that can help move that through. It feels like you've tried long enough, and you have to let, you're not training wheels. You are not a pair of training wheels. You're not training wheels for somebody. They need to be an adult. They need to show up in healthy ways, but I don't know if this person knows how to do that. So for the King of Cups in reverse, you have the Knight of Wands in reverse. This is not a healthy energy. This is basically somebody who is very self-serving. They do what they want. It's somebody who's incredibly impulsive. They just go with what they want to do. And when you have somebody with that type of personality and the way that they take care of things, if they're somebody who's also under the influence, or there's somebody who's just kind of like emotionally devoid, you get a person who is very hard to deal with. You get somebody who is non-committal. You get somebody who's back and forth. They're in, they're out. They want what they want, what they want it, and it's kind of, it puts you to the side. And I think you're done being put to the side over and over and over again, Sagittarius. Show me the Page of Swords in reverse here for Sagittarius, please. Show me the Page of Swords in reverse for Sag. So you have the Star here, and you have the Star here. So nice double energy. With the Star, again, like I said, this is about healing. It's about transformation. It's about trusting the direction that you're on. I feel here with the Page of Swords, no matter what information has been given to this person, they're not utilizing it for the best of their ability. It can be a card of spying, of course, but this is a card of not utilizing information properly. It's also gathering information and using it in negative ways. And that, just to turn that around, it could just literally be somebody who has been given resources after resources and potentials, and they're not doing anything with them. And it comes from a sense of immaturity. It's like a very immature reaction to something that should be better. But again, with the King of Cups in reverse twice, you're dealing with somebody who has a fair amount of emotional wounding. And I think through that, you've had a lot of care for this person, but there's a point and there's a limit. There's a limit. This person needs help. They need help. I don't know if you found anything out about them on the internet, or like different stuff that they may have been involved with. I don't know. There's some sort of like weird, like finding new things that you don't really sit well with. And it's just kind of like another nail in the coffin type of thing. It gets you out of it though. Show me the Star here for Sagittarius. Yeah, and with the Star twice, this is two people healing, two people finding their paths. You have the option and direction for something new. They do too. It just doesn't mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be together. Yeah, for the Star here, you have the Fool. Fool is about learning from your experiences. It's about coming up from difficult times and applying what you've already had go on in your life into the new phase within your life. How do you fine tune it? What do you move towards? It's about getting a new sense of self, feeling rejuvenated, feeling like you're back on track. You have a new sense of direction. This whole reading is about new direction, but this doesn't necessarily have to take place between two people. I feel here that you're dealing with somebody that needs to deal with their own BS and, and not even BS, just pain. This person is not healthy on an emotional level, and it's bleeding out in so many ways. And with the Star here, you have the opportunity for new things in a different direction. You have every right to just stay in this if you choose to. I'll never tell you not to stay in. Well, I will sometimes because it's not healthy, but you have every right to stay in it if you choose to. It's like this card. I choose to stay with this person. I choose to be with this person, even if it hurts me, even if I freeze in the snow and we avoid help and getting, the proper, resources that we need. I'm going to stay in this detrimental situation. You have every right to do that. Here, it indicates changing that. It indicates getting yourself out of a situation of lack and discomfort, rebuilding financial ruin. This can also talk about financial ruin, the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. It is a dissolve of relationships. It is a dissolve of connections that have been long-standing. It could also, this doesn't even have to be a family. This could be a family member or brother and sister. This does not have to be a husband-wife situation. This could be a family member. It could even be a friend, but it's a long-standing situation where we've done enough. Show me the Seven of Cups here for Sagittarius, please. Hang on. This card's about to fall. So you have the Four of Cups here, Sag. You also have the Four of Cups at the beginning, okay? Now, With the Four of Cups, like I said, it's a card of not moving forward with somebody, not making an offer, not taking an offer. It's just kind of stagnancy. There's not any movement anymore. We don't want to deal with somebody. We're blocking them out. We, have grown incredibly tired of this situation. It's toxic. It's interesting because in this picture, it's weird. In this picture, you have somebody, this hand coming out with this drink here, for those of you that are dealing with a toxic person that may be drinking. And here, it's like this person is facing it. They see that there's a bunch of cans here that are emptied out, or they're in front of either they're empty or about to be drank. But this person has a gas mask on. It's like they cannot survive in this toxic situation anymore, this toxic environment. They need to breathe different air. They need to have a different experience. And yet they're confronted with somebody who is drinking. And if you look here, it's almost like cobwebs covering this person. They're not even there. It's just, you see a hand clutching a drink with drinks set in front of them. It's almost as if like that's their life. And this is not going to apply to every person, but for those that are dealing with that type of person, you need fresh air. You need to get a different sense of your experience. You need to move away from this. It's a toxic thing. You cannot breathe that situation anymore. Show me the Five of Pentacles in reverse here, please. Show me the Five of Pentacles in reverse here for Sagittarius. Five of Pentacles for Sag. So you have the Hermit here, and then you have the Seven of Swords at the bottom of the deck. Okay, so this is basically looking into somebody's really dark habits, dark patterns. This is now, I want to mention, because a lot of people are going to say, oh, this person's cheating on you. Sure, it could be that too. This person may be, doing whatever they want. This is the King of Cups, can also be somebody who is sexually deviant. Kind of along the lines of the King of Wands in reverse as well. But the Seven of Swords can also be somebody who goes against relationships and themselves completely. They do not care. They are on a road of destruction and they don't give a shit. When we're deep and dark in depression and drug addiction or whatever type of abuse mechanism, coping mechanism that we're finding that we're sucked into, we essentially are negating ourselves. We're cheating ourselves, essentially. We're cheating the people that are around us, With the it's the ninth card, but with the Hermit here, this is basically where we are really evaluating this entirety of the situation for what it is. And I think it's to the point here now, Sagittarius, like I said in the beginning, where you are no longer choosing to be part of this. It's like it breaks your soul to be part of this. It's not healthy, And so you're choosing to look at it for what it is. Some of you have been part of this for 7 years, 9 years, some of it, yeah. And it doesn't even have to be those numbers, but like every situation is going to be different. But it's a long period of time where you've been dealing with this. And it's just kind of like, I'm done. I am done. I've got different things to do. I don't want to do this anymore. Show me for the Two of Wands here for Sag. So you have the Page of Cups coming out for this. Now, I want to say here, again, back to this compassion energy that I keep picking up from you, Sagittarius. And you guys are beautiful. You're spiritual. You're lovely. You're very compassionate people. You can be. Not all of you are, but you can be. What I'm feeling here, Saggies, is that within this decision-making, you have to have a heart-to-heart with this person. You have to communicate, and this can also be one of regret. It's like, I'm sorry. This is an apology as well, but it's almost like, I'm sorry. I can't deal with this. I've extended an olive branch to you too many times. And now this entire situation is totally like unbearable, and I love you and I can't. And that's fair. So I'm going to go ahead and pull an oracle here for you guys. And see where that goes. Show me energy present here that needs to be seen or shared too with Sagittarius. You have Moldavite. I like Moldavite. Moldavite's a very cool. I don't know the meaning of this. I lost this deck. I lost it, quote unquote. It was in front of me for like 6 months and I couldn't see it. I don't know why I couldn't see it. It was right in front of me. But Yeah, Moldavite, I believe, is from space. Let's go ahead and see what's up here for Moldavite. Moldavite, metamorphosis. Moldavite was created when a giant meteorite slammed into Earth some 11 million years ago, fusing the power of the cosmos with that of Mother Earth. You are a child of the stars and find the environment of you are a child of the stars and find the environment of Earth heavy and inert. Moldavite raises your vibrations with flooding cosmic light so that you feel more at home. You are on a search for the inner grail, awareness of your divine origins, release ingrained beliefs to make way for spiritual metamorphosis. Detach yourself from mundane issues. You are going through a spiritual transformation so dramatic changes can occur as you reach your body. Detach yourself from mundane issues. You are going through a spiritual transformation. So dramatic changes occur as you reach beyond your limits. Talk to your soul to check the outcome of present actions. Transcend time. Avoid sowing seeds of destruction. Fertility and good fortune await. You are far more than a physical body. Harmony at all levels creates your well-being. And here, frequency, earth and high chakra, all up to the highest. The timing is Scorpio, integration of the physical and the spiritual. I think that this is, it goes both ways, but I think that this is primarily too for this person that you're dealing with. It's realizing and looking into somebody's self and needing to change and understanding that they have to change, and but you have to change too. So it's moving forward, and it's trusting your change in the process that happens. I know that sounds so fucking cheesy. I'm sorry, but that's what I'm feeling here. So I hope this reading was helpful for you, Sagittarius. I know it's not going to jive with everybody, but for those who it was for, I really wish you the best in luck. And it feels like you've given a fair amount of compassion and love to somebody, and I think it's time to turn that around and give it to yourself, and do what you need to do for you. So I love you guys. I will talk to you soon. If you like this video, please feel free to share, like, and subscribe. And if you choose to donate, there's a link in the description box below, and I will talk to you in a couple of weeks. Take care. Have a good beginning of November. Bye-bye.